All right, conversation piece. This is Elder Rawchaa. Y'all here with Elder Lawya. Here, I know we started a little late, but we got about 2 hours. And of course, we're going to go right into the topic at hand. As you all know, we're dealing in a prophetic time, the end times, and there's a storms coming on every level. And Christ says we shall and we must endure unto the end. There's a lot of things being rolled out right now. We have an elder and a brother that's been with us for a while that's in the Houston area. He did such a great job within the academy this Sunday articulating what exactly was going on in Houston before so-called Irma came on the map. So I thought that we would invite him on the show just for a few minutes just to give some of the details he gave us in the academy this week. And of course, I'm Elder Rawchaa of the Gathering of Christ Church. And we here, like I said, in a very prophetic time. Usually the 7th month, and that's why the Most High gave us that time schedule in studying and understanding the importance of Sabbaths and understanding the years broken into Sabbaths. And there's something really deep about the 7th month. Usually there's a trumpet going on or a sound, a certain point of prophecy going on, first starting in the heavens and emanating into our realm. Well, brothers and sisters, I'll tell you this right now. When we are in Atlanta this weekend, I'm making sure it's recorded, we're going to definitely show you all through the Spirit of the Most High what this trump is all about. When I say this trump, the 7th month is usually a warning. You notice even the elite under their so-called geometry, or whatever they call that, under the Kabbalah numbers, usually do things in the 7th month to try to mimic the Most High's trump, but they're doing it in carnality under geometry or all types of satanic Jewish magic. And what the difference is the difference between what they articulate or make within the earth as disasters and what the Most High do. But all in all, they cannot do nothing unless the Most High allows it. And there is a lot of things going on that's prophetic by the Most High. It's just that we must be able to spiritually discern the two. And see, and that's why the Most High sent teachers, so that we can raise the voice and sound the trump in this day, so that we understand what to fear and how to fear. The fear of the Most High is the beginning of wisdom and understanding. Satan wants to put us under fake fear, to take our courage in preparation for our demise, which the Bible phrases as or coins as Jacob's trouble. So how do we resolve these disasters, the storms, Irma, this, that, and the other? Matter of fact, how are they discerning it? Well, let's go back real quick, brothers and sisters, if we may. Years ago, I'd like to go back to when we first began, the Most High put us on the street, just a few people on the street, telling everyone, this is what's going to happen. Tanks going to be rolling down your streets. They're going to prepare your roads. The mark of the beast is coming. The chip system is on its way. Okay? And all of the false flags that they were doing, quote unquote, their year 2000 up to 2001, was leading to them blaming the children of Jacob as the enemy of all humanity. Regardless of the false flags they put out there, it seems like we're between the crosshairs with every event. And guess what, brothers and sisters? That's not by chance. It doesn't matter what the disaster is or what the disease are, we're between the crosshairs when it comes to media promotion of fear. If it's a disease, okay, the Ebola virus or the Hebo virus or the Zika virus, no matter what it is, they show black people. Every disaster, levees breaking, levees being destroyed, levees being opened, like we're going to go into in one moment with Lawya, they're showing our people between the crosshairs. What's going on here? Not that it doesn't affect everyone. We're not saying that. Of course it affects everyone. They don't care how many people they have to destroy of their own to get to us. But all in all, the God of this world is against the children of Adam. They are against the image of the Most High God. No one is safe. So therefore, we must reason spiritually at this spiritual time, the times of the trump, the 7th month. The seventh month is very spiritual because something is going on in the heavens that will lead to our freedom, brothers and sisters. Let's go into it. Read about the Trump real quick. Come on, real quick. And you notice it's no coincidence that near the last Trump, they have placed a president in place by the name of Trump. Now, mind you, they do everything. They're very patient. They do everything, and everything through planning. Nothing is by chance. His name was not Trump. He wasn't born with the name Trump. His name was Trump. He's actually Jewish. You're not going to own all that property in Manhattan and not be of Amalek blood stock, of Ashkenazi blood stock. But all in all, he's just one piece within their, their smorgasbord or their puzzle. See? It's no coincidence that near the Trump that's prophesied, they have a man by the name of Trump in place. It's like a message. Now, of course, the elite powers and those that are within the Masonic realm who's pushing these things on a physical level understands what's going on a physical level. But you're supposed to be spiritual. You're not supposed to be caught up with the hype and the disasters they plan to get you under their plan. There's two plans working at one time. Read it real quick, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. Leviticus chapter 23, verse 23.
Yes.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month is the first day of the month.
It's the first day of the month.
Shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets.
A memorial blowing of trumpets. Now, you noticed, now back then, trumpets were sound with a distinct sound for different purposes. When it was time for war, a certain trump would go off. When it was time for a holy day, a certain sound would happen through the trumpet. Right? When it was time to pray, there were certain trumps. When it was time to feast, when it was time for an alarm, the trumps had significance. So each year, the 7th month, usually there's a trump. Something is going on that we should take heed to, leading to our freedom according to the Most High God, according to the Bible. Come on.
Yes, sir. This is Numbers 10 and 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying...
It says it's slightly out of focus. Can you focus that a little bit for me? Shapat, go on.
Make thee 2 trumpets of silver of a whole piece, shalt thou make them, that thou mayest use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
See that? Read it again.
And when they shall blow them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle.
At the door of the tabernacle. The Most High have shown us through prayer and diligence and through this work what to proclaim this trump. Okay? This feast, this high holy day. There's storms all over the place, not just in America, all over the world. And there's a storm that will shake Israel throughout the earth. God's people. He's sounding a trump. He's shaking. He's doing his will. Okay? That's what's going on. And you're going to find out even before the flood, brothers and sisters, that this time of year had serious significance when it came to the preparing of the ark. And guess what? We're going to be talking about that this weekend. Sabbath night, this weekend, the memorial blowing of the trumpets. The Most High is allowing them to do certain things. This earth will be shaken. Now, going back to my original premise on the street, we told you that tanks will be on the street. We told you. Here it is. They're using terrorism as a proxy for their agenda, just like I mention all the time, Nero did a few years before Vespasian and Titus sacked our homeland, Jerusalem. They always use a false flag or some type of event, they call it. as a pretext to do their real plan against the children of God. We told you what was going to go down. People back in Louisiana, back then when they blew the levees, when Spike Lee made that movie, When the Levees Broke. Do you know he had to change the title in order for it to air on HBO? The original title he made was When They Blew the Levees. Did you hear some of the testimony, the witnesses who said we heard a big boom, and then that's when the water began to rise into our homes? Yes, we told you. That wasn't Hurricane Katrina. The same way, a lot of their plans through chaos will be executed through these particular quote-unquote storms. Usually they use these storms for certain drills, real live drills. Sometimes they do it and it be total hysteria and fear going on amongst the people. And everyone is scrambling everywhere. And then you look up, not to say that this is not going to be what they say it will be, but when you look up, what happened? You be like, what happened to the storm? They say, well, it stared back into and it died down. Well, you don't know if it died down. You were looking at a computer screen with something red spinning. But through that, they were able to do what? Up their economy. They was able to sell a lot of gas and petrol, a lot of food. All that, they was able to make all this money off hysteria that went right back in. See? So you have to look at how it's commercialized and used on the corporate side too. Even Rush Limbaugh spoke about that. Somebody that's on their side spoke of the hysteria that's created through these things. Not that it's not bad, but sometimes it's never as bad as the fear. It's more so, can we control? Do we have power over their emotions? It's as if we fear more so the hysteria that's created through media than the God who made us. No one is looking at the signs and the forecasts that's coming from Scripture and preparing for that. You see the storms going on, and you'll go to the store, you'll go get water. Now, we told people for years, for the last 3 years, they're going to start using all of these different types of false flags and everything, that to make sure that we're not caught in this hysteria. You can go look at our videos from years back. And we told the church and elders, listen, it's your responsibility. Make sure every house know to have rations of food and water so you don't go where they're trying to take you in one of these emergencies. And you know what? And that's why, because why? What did we say back then? When it happens, you'll have time to think of how to get out of it, opposed to being in the fray of the multitude of people who are scrambling for food, who's going to be portrayed as looters on media, through media, and demonized, trying to get their children some diapers or some food. They've been telling you a long time. You have the right-wing cats out there in Texas and all that. What are they doing? You think these prepper videos and prepper this and prepper that is by chance? They're even giving you signs of what's going on. We said it was going to happen, and it's happening. Now we have to prepare for what happens next. And that's what we're going to talk about this Sabbath. But all in all, let me follow up on a few things. Right? I have Lawya on the line. Lawya, hold on. I'm going to bring you right in. I just want you to hear what the media is saying. Listen to this.
Anyway, long holiday weekends like the one we just... By the way, did North Carolina survive that big storm? Has anybody heard? I checked Drudge every day over the weekend, and I couldn't find anything, and there were no updates on it. All it said on Drudge was that this tropical storm, Bully, whatever it was on its way to the Carolinas, but I never saw it. Did life go on in South Carolina? Okay, good, because I didn't see anything. I've been worried all weekend. It's going to be back here, folks, from the long holiday weekend away. We just checked North Carolina, South Carolina, okay. No major damage or loss of life was reported after that monster storm went through there, whenever it went through there. It was so big, nobody had time to report it. See you tomorrow.
He's talking about the hysteria. Years ago, we tell you that Walmart is just another word for martial law, and now they were in conjunction with FEMA and Homeland Security for emergencies. They've had this collaboration for the last 3 to 4 years. Listen to this. And this was a few years ago. Walmart.
Or eastern part of, or in the bayou area, and they're bringing them up on these boats, and they're getting to either the north part of the area or the northwest part of Houston, and they're taking these people to Walmart, and that's where they're staying at. Are you kidding me? Is that what they were doing? They were preparing for these things? So I told you, little by little, they're going to do this. They're not going to do it all at once. They can't do it all at once because of the backlash that they'll have from everybody.
So what are we seeing here? I'm just going to do a touch on a few things we've been talking about well before the emergency happened. As you can see, the 6-pointed star next to Walmart, the mark of the beast, the mark of the man, the 6-pointed star, 666, the star of Moloch, where they're implementing what? Mass consumption, the spirit of consumerism. On top of that, they will implement the RFID, and this place will be an RFID chip center. They're actually going through the motion and practicing those particulars through these storms. More. We talked about that years ago. More.
It's taken place around here since they closed it. I'm going to explain to you what you're going to see so you'll know what you're looking at. Right after Walmart closed, they had an AT&T communications building start construction right at the northeast corner of Walmart. We drove by the other day, and I took an up-close picture of the warning sign that it had on the fence. Now, this is US 59 South Feeder Road.
Okay, this guy's music is bothering me, but anyway, I'm going to get him out of there. And what you see on the map here is Jade Helm. Jade Helm of 2015, there was a mass hysteria on 2015 concerning Jade Helm in the areas where drills would happen all at once. Everyone was waiting for something to happen. But there's no coincidence that those drills that happened in 2015 are now being executed live through Hurricane Harvey and Irma. It's the same geography. See? They don't expect you to put 2 and 2 together. Those drills for what you're seeing now. And guess what? It wasn't Hurricane Harvey that caused the floods in Houston. That was just the rain that covered them opening the levees to flood out the people, to bring in this drill real time called Jade Helm. Okay? I'm not going to go through the video. I'm going to show you the map so you can pause it, look at it yourself, and put it together, and put it together biblically. Because if they will plan these things, these nefarious things, these sinister plans before you, real time as psyops, what will they do down the pipeline if this is what they'll do to you now? Just think about it. Now, we're not fear-mongering. We're telling you the truth. This is what's going on right now, what we're telling you. What we're saying is, who should you fear and who should you be under during the storm? That's our question. A watchman blows the trumpet. We're blowing the trumpet this weekend. We're blowing it now. The Most High is sending a storm. And guess what? That storm is not just Irma or Harvey or anything. That storm is going to check our spirit in the balance. There's a spiritual storm going on too. Okay? Ye that endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. You are not to waver. You are to stand in what you know is right, and you are to endure unto the end. 10,000 shall fall on the right, and 1,000 by your left, but no death shall come upon thee. If you have faith and persevere with the Most High. And I'm going to show you a few things here. Now, originally we had Jesse Lee Peterson scheduled, but I thank the brother. He was cordial. He was respectful in the wake of all these so-called disasters. And there's no way we could just go into a discussion about just, scriptural theology in the midst of warnings. Okay? There's no way. So he was cordial and respectful enough to say, I understand, not unlike the other guy we had, Hughes, a few weeks ago, and say, well, listen, don't worry about it. I'll come on next week. Let's make sure your people are safe. He was around us. He see the love that we have amongst each other. He seen the love we shown towards him. And you know what? He cared, believe it or not, for our brethren. He goes about it in his own different way. And that's what I'm going to try to pull out of him next week. It's like, why do you, why do you use this provocative way to get your point across? Obviously you care or you wouldn't be doing it. But that's what I'm going to be talking about next week. But I thank him for respecting the platform and allowing us to do our work first for the Most High and warning our people through this storm. Listen to this, because they claim there was rain that caused so much flooding and raindrops and all that. That's what caused the floods in Houston. But we have eyewitnesses. We have people on the ground, elders. We have a church there who bear witness that they reported within Houston that they were opening the levees on the people. And while they were reporting on the outside of Houston, a storm. Listen to this. If you think we're making this up or we're just conspiracy theorists. If you notice on your screen right here, that same area where this cloud is right here, where you see so-called Harvey of last week, growing in these areas here. This is the same map as Jade Helm. Same map as Jade Helm. Look at it. Because there's a lot of what you would call freedom fighters in that particular area that will not relinquish their guns. You would have to pry the guns from their cold, dead hands. They have a lot of guns there. And the only way that the government can disarm, and there's a plan to disarm all of America. Don't get it twisted. Because all of these laws they're passing out there, right, to say, well, listen, we need to curtail firearms and make stricter arm or firearm laws. None of these laws they're passing affects criminals. Criminals don't legally get licenses for guns. So why do they penalize those who get licenses and protect themselves and are not behind the crimes and all that? The gangbangers and all that don't go down and get a license for a gun. So you have some people that are smart enough in the so-called Jade Helm area, the Texas area, saying, well, listen, we see the writing on the wall. There's nothing new under the sun. They're going to use these gang-banging scenarios as a pretext to disarm good citizens or citizens who would like to protect their family. Because, hey, no man is good. That's what Christ said, right? So they're using gangbangers as a pretext to disarm people who are law-abiding citizens. Why should you suffer a penalty for what criminals do? Well, these people in Texas in the Jade Helm area are not going for it. So the only way the what you would call foreign troops, which are within the borders right now of the United States under the UN, when you see these elaborate dressed up tanks that looks the same color as your police cars, and you think that, okay, a Marine unit, a Navy unit, and they say police there? No, it's really a tank that looks the same way in Desert Storm, but painted to look like your cop car. Camouflage it in the city. But who's in those cars? Foreign troops. They can only come in and disarm you under what? Emergency. The same way they did in Katrina. Because, yeah, they'll take you out and put you into Walmart or give you some blankets and all that, but you think they're going to let you take your gun with you? So what happens when you go home after the water's receded? Hey, where's my goods? Where's my gun? See? Well, we had to go through just to make sure there was nobody left inside the houses after you leave your house. When you come back, guess what? You're disarmed. Well, under FEMA's Protection Act, under these certain security situations, we must disarm citizens. See, that's part of it. Look up Katrina. But listen to this. If you think we're conspiracy theorists here, and we're just crying wolf, probably, you might think. Listen to what they have created through NASA. You thought NASA was about going out in space, huh? No. That's a military apparatus against you.
Listen. FEMA is on standby. The National Guard are on the ground. And you see things like this right here. NASA sees the Depression rebirth. Harvey's rebirth. Now look at the area where this entire storm is. Okay? Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, right there. See this? See all the different colors? See all this crap? There's a reason I'm showing you now. Pay attention. You'll see what I'm saying. See the map? See the hardest hit areas? See where the storm's the worst? Notice this one little area right here. And I'm going to tell you why.
Check out that area, folks.
Keep an eye on the map. Watch this. Let's do a search. Notice the Gulf of Mexico. Notice Texas.
What's there?
You see right here?
I wish you all can see this on Blog Talk, but I can
right
describe
here,
it for you.
The John C. Stennis Space Center.
The John C. Stennis Space Center. It's not about space at all.
Mm-hmm. You remember those big machines we told you about? The factories that are all daisy-chained together all across the country? Well, today, of all days, NASA decided to do this for 500
They pumping
seconds.
clouds out of a machine, out of the ground.
500 seconds.
Making clouds.
NASA
Fallen
knows,
angel technology.
Everybody knows that doing this affects the weather greatly.
See that?
I've shown you this in past videos where there was actually BBC reporters there showing that this was occurring, and then right afterwards it caused rainfall.
But they'll lie and blame you for breathing under the guise of global warming. Why do you need HAARP and all these things? Why do you need this? How are they making real clouds that causes rains and storms that they can control through the HAARP system? They needed that global warming lie to lie off what they're doing through a man-made, satanic, sinister plan against humanity. I'm looking at it before you. What is NASA doing on terrain, the Earth's terrain, within the firmament? You know, I thought they was dealing with the space. They claim they're doing something to prepare for Mars. Okay, you're still buying that one? Look, but let's not digress. Look at this, brothers and sisters.
All in the local areas. Well, imagine if you're having a hurricane event that won't stop dumping water, killing people, driving people out of their homes, destroying the property, causing FEMA to have to come in, causing the National Guard to have to come in, and causing absolute destruction and devastation in one particular region that we all saw a couple of years ago, right here. Remember that? Well, what's this entire area going through right now? Do you know what I mean? Look familiar?
Look at that.
Absolutely. Notice the large circle. Notice the large circle.
Look at that.
And look at what they decided to do of all days today. They decided to blast this for the longest that it's been run. And the story is, exactly what NASA's claiming, is this is in preparation to bring men to Mars. Now, if you're listening to my channel right now, or you've listened for a long time, or you've just started listening today, and if you believe any of the bullshit that these people are spewing out of their mouths about taking men in a rocket through outer space to land on a planet and colonize Mars, you are an idiot, and you are part of the problem. You are part of the reason the country is falling apart, because there is no such thing as flying to outer space. NASA cannot even get to the moon. And who said that? NASA said that. Don Pettit's come out numerous times and said the
they
same
lost
thing.
all the technology to be able to get there. That's why they haven't gone since 1969, they claim.
Right.
I thought your technology has advanced since then.
Destroying an entire
bunch of
region
liars.
of the
Go
United
on.
States, and they
Look at
decided
making clouds. Look.
500 seconds. They should put.
Look at this. Sending clouds as a cover
Literally
over
a
Texas.
stone's throw away, and in the entire mass of the hurricane, what you're seeing
Now
right
look.
here.
Here's a NASA piece I want y'all to hear. Let me skip.
Gave them an imaginary boundary line, and anyone living on the inside of it was offered a simple choice. Stay, and you'll never hear another television program as long as you
That's
live.
how they got them to move out.
Or take the NASA shilling and get out. Stay,
He told them take the money and leave so that we can build some testing, some testing equipment here.
And NASA
Check out what they made over in that area.
Wanted 125,000 acres of nothing.
Water source device
They even
on the
had to
NASA.
move 5 cemeteries because the noise they were planning on making would wake the dead.
Blowing out real clouds into the atmosphere to cause storms near the Gulf.
Don't worry if you can't hear what I'm saying. I couldn't even hear myself. This is the loudest sound you could possibly conceive. And as it turns out, the cleanest.
Now, the most amazing thing is that cloud up there, which was generated by the engine, is just a mixture of hydrogen and oxygen. It's water vapor. And in about an hour's time, someone in Mississippi is going to get wet washing. It will actually rain.
I told you! It's raining! That's unbelievable! Oh, NASA's playing God! That's unbelievable!
What'd he say?
Oh.
NASA's playing God.
NASA's playing God!
Now, you just heard the reporter say that the byproduct of whatever it is they're doing, they're not testing to go to the moon. They're not testing to go to Mars. That's all bullshit. What they're doing is controlling the weather and using it as a weapon. So they are very, very well aware. That
And notice the area or the machine they're using is called Copernicus, an old ancient Greek god or something, or Roman god. They honor their gods and all their creation. Why? Their creation is not through their research in school. Their creation is magic. It's satanic sorcery given to them by the fallen gods. Believe it or not. That's who they're serving. They are playing God. Okay? What did Satan tell Adam and Eve? What did he tell Eve? No, he don't want you to take of this fruit. He know once you partake, you will be as gods, knowing good and evil. Well, guess who partake of this fruit? The elite powers of this world. They give their souls and children for power over you as gods. They get the technology from the fallen one. We went into that in full detail within the academy, the judgment of the gods. Brothers and sisters, we're here. So whether someone believe it or not doesn't make a difference. Prophecy will unfold anyway. Whether you believe it or not. Whether anyone out there, oh, nah, this is crazy. You know why people are usually dealing like that where they don't want to believe it? It's kind of a cognitive dissonance. They'd rather not believe it because if you understand it's real, you actually have to do something. You have to stand for something. You would have to believe in something. But guess what? Not believing doesn't push prophecy away. You're going to deal with it. Whether you put your hand over your ears, over your mouth, over your eyes, guess what? The storm is still coming. And I'm not just talking about Irma either. With that, real quick, before I go over a few details, because guess what? We got about an hour and a half, so that's good. I'm going to hope some of our brothers and sisters who are weathering the storm, literally, can come on with us and give us a call and let us know what's going on in our respective areas. We've got Elder Fennell and all the different elders all throughout the four corners of the earth we're praying for. We got the brothers in Puerto Rico. We have the brothers and sisters in the Jamaican islands. Anybody. We got God. We've got everyone. We got, guess what? They even talking about it hitting New York, too. Okay? Now, what's going to hit New York and what they're saying is going to hit New York may be two separate things. But all in all, they're letting you know what areas they have a plan for. All in all. That they can utilize a chaotic scenario for that sinister plan that's germinating. Okay? Lawya, are you with me, brother?
Yes, Elder, I'm here. I'm here.
Lawya, bless you, brother. Thank you for coming on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Elder. The water.
Okay, I need you to give me another. Okay, I need you to give me another recap. You're over the Houston school, the Houston church. You're doing a great job with the church there. Thank you for that. I'm going to ask you about what we talked about before the storm. It so happened that we called each other because I had to make sure that everything was together. And I think you took heed to that preparation. I said that all churches must have in place, and it was really a quote-unquote godsend for the family there, to the point where it actually extended beyond the church. It extended into the community. The same time Joel Osteen claimed that he couldn't open the church because of a flood in the building. Right? We all know that. We know he's a hustler, a snake oil salesman who's selling some straight satanic heresy, talking about getting money, talking about getting blessed and all that. No, they're getting blessed by Satan, but let's move that over there. Let us know, Lawya. I'm going to ask you, what caused the floods in Houston, and how do you know?
What caused the flood and what's still causing the flood and the problems here in Houston is these people breaking the levee. We are still experiencing massive amounts of areas being flooded out. As we speak, the area that we had reserved for our Feast of Tabernacles is still underwater. We can't even go there within the next 3 weeks because they're still expecting that area to be underwater. So it wasn't, quote, quote, Hurricane Harvey that caused this flood. It was them breaking the levees and all of the other things that they have manipulated to cause the devastation that we are still experiencing here in the Houston area.
Okay, well, just so you know, I'm gonna deal with you offline. But in the wake of what's going on, we're going to exercise some grace in certain areas with the Feast of Tabernacles. We're really going to observe the first and the last day and come together as Sabbaths, like the scriptures say. So it's not going to be mandatory, or people can voluntarily go out there if they would like, but it's not going to be a thing that we're going to concentrate on this year more so outside of the organized one we have. The only one we're doing outside will be the one in conjunction, really, with Philadelphia and Pennsylvania, New York. No other Feast of Tabernacles is going on in any other area. We're just going to do the regular Sabbath on the day it comes in, and we're going to end it at the end of the Sabbath, so people don't have to worry about camping out at night. If brothers and sisters want to camp out, hey, it's sleeping in booths. They can sleep, outside in front of where they are or in an area they would like privately. When we were dwelling in booths, we had our own plots to do it in. You understand? It wasn't just us going out camping like that, but we did that in the past to show some level of solidarity and understanding and to really fulfill and feel what some of our foreparents went through being out there in the wild. But we must be wise in these times. And I'm not going to do anything or teach anything that's going to put our brothers and sisters in harm's way when we're under a storm such as this. You understand? We have to walk with wisdom, understanding that soon we're going to be real pilgrims out there, but it's not going to be within the borders of the United States.
Exactly.
So I'm going to talk to y'all about that offline, but I'm going to put that out there. That,
okay.
We're curtailing that this year, and we'll deal with the holy days accordingly, okay, like we used to. We'll deal with the first day and the last day, because we're not going to put our brothers and sisters in harm's way, seeing what they're planning against our people. Well, let's get back to that point real quick. Let's get back, brother, to you, Elder and brother, about what happened there. Because you said there was a news report, a local news report, that say, be careful, leave this area, because the authorities will need now to open the levees. What happened there? Why did they open the levees on the people?
Their reasoning for opening, the explanation that they gave, it was that there was so much water that had pressure on the levees that they were going to break. So instead of them allowing levees to break naturally, if they were, because of the pressure of the water, they decided to open the levees. So they actually opened the levees. They didn't give the levees a chance to break. They opened them.
Well, what did you do? Just so that brothers and sisters can know who didn't know or wasn't in the know before. We have probably new listeners listening or viewing for the first time. How was you able to prepare for this? And what did you do in the wake of this forecast?
When we heard what they were doing, even before this so-called storm hit, we had all of our brothers in place, the brothers who worked along with me. We divided we got lists together of all of our people, and all of these brothers were responsible for a certain amount of people within the congregation to be in constant contact with our members at all times, even before the so-called storm hit. So we were in constant contact with all of our members, not by texting, but by actually communicating with them in person via telephone, making sure that they had the water that we had all been planning for as we did so many years before this thing came, but making sure that they had all of those things in place: water, non-perishable foods, generators, candles, flashlights, everything that they needed so they would not have to go out and get anything once this so-called storm hit. So when it hit, all of our people were in place. We also alerted our people to let them know that if they were in a low-lying area, to leave immediately and come to the church, because the church was open as an emergency shelter and as a refuge for our people, and not only our people, but for people within the community. So those are the steps that we took even before the storm hit.
Well, brother, I'm going to say I thank you for your preparation, your courage, and all this. But obviously their plans are not done. Okay, what are you hearing now, and what are the plans based on what's going on now?
What are we hearing now? We praise the Most High. All of our people are out of danger and harm's way. The couple who I spoke of that was trapped in their home, they were able to get out. There's still a lot of water in those areas where you can't even drive in those areas. We're seeing military tanks and vehicles all over the place, especially in certain areas like right outside in Katy and Pasadena. You know, our people are constantly calling in. There's military tanks all over the place. We're seeing military helicopters flying around all over the place. They set up an army base at the academy headquarters in Katy, where they have all of these National Guards and all of these Army personnel people there. Now, supposedly the storm is over, but you still have all of these people that are here in Houston, and that they're visibly active here in the area. We still have martial.
That's a blessing that you're doing this. Go ahead, I'm listening. Go on.
We still have martial law curfew. Initially, it was set for 10 o'clock. Now it's 12 p.m., where you have to be out the street by 12 p.m. If not, you're given a citation. We have one of our brothers here is a lawyer. He worked for the city, and he's just saying there's so many people who are coming in with just because they're getting citations for breaking the curfew. And what's happening, once they get them in for the curfew citation, but then they find out, oh, well, you got a warrant for this, or you got a warrant for that. So they go in, but they don't come out because of a curfew.
Oh, so look at that. That's deep, because now they can process you. Just say if you have some, things out there, because sometimes you know how the law try to stick things on you. Or maybe It's warranted. But all in all, now they can really get that revenue up by processing everyone that comes through to see if there's any warrants, past child support, or financial gain they can get on the people now that they have them under the process. So it's like you're saying, they're using this as a pretext to say, okay, we was looking for you. You can check in now, but you won't check out. Now, and on that, Lawya, you were mentioning how the brother and sister that are now safe, and thank the Most High, because the majority of us took heed and went to the church and was safe. We didn't lose anyone through this, all praise to the Most High. They came and was for relief for the brother and sister in the house who was trapped because of the flood. And the brother and sister, you said, asked, where are you going to take me or something? And what they said, like, we can't tell you, just get in. They stayed, huh?
They actually, right, yeah, they actually told a couple who's members of our church, this couple who, like I said, were just able to get out of their home on yesterday, when the boat, the rescue personnel, the boat came to their home to take them, they asked them the question, where are you taking me? They told them, we can't tell you where we're taking you, just get in the boat.
What?
But then we found they were taking people to Walmarts, to academy stores, where all of these army bases are held. The academy store, like I said, the main academy headquarters is an army base now.
Now, when we were prophesying and talking a long time ago, and especially in our elder meeting, we said if anything happened and they come to take you somewhere, what is your answer, Lawya?
Right. Do not go.
Thank you. So
Do
if you
not
prepare, you're not. Thank you. You're not up in whatever they're planning. Because usually when they get you in these condensed areas, they'll claim under the CDC's law, if you're under a herd type of law with too many people, they must vaccinate you for the protection of the people there. You can't be involved. Or, hold on, Lawya, hold your point. Hold your point now. Or, this might happen to you. Check this out. Here's a homeless man that was taken somewhere. Salvation Army. Listen.
Jake, who is homeless. Jake, you found yourself some shelter here. Why are you outside during this entire hurricane?
Well, I chose not to go inside yesterday because the Salvation Army and Russian Wind's homeless shelter, where they were accepting people, were caught killing everybody that was in there. I'm sorry. Right. Okay. All right.
So clearly you're homeless, and there are some challenges that you face, sir.
So I guess the important part of this story that the reporter is trying to get is the challenges he faced.
Right.
Well, what about people getting killed? You want to talk about that? Oh, you want to just... So he just want to floss right over, okay, they're killing people over there. But he's a reporter. Go on.
I'm just curious, what has it been like out here for you?
It's been a little miserable since about 12 o'clock last night. It wasn't too bad before then. About 12 o'clock, lightning, the power went out in the neighborhood over here. And I'm actually a police officer.
Okay, sir. I'm curious, as you're here and you're trying to survive outdoors, do you want us to call somebody to get you some help? Will you go?
No, we want you to call somebody about these people that just got killed he's talking about. Well, what's going on here? Lawya, you hear this, man? You with us? Okay, Lawya might have dropped out. When you get back, just let us know, Lawya. I think he dropped. All right, I think he dropped. But it's okay. Thank you, Lawya. All the points you made were just right on point. Brothers and sisters, so here we are, in the midst of Jacob's trouble, in the daughter of Babylon, the whore of the earth. Everything goes in this satanic Sodom and Gomorrah type of society we call the daughter of Babylon. Nothing is righteous. They're scaring, putting us in fear, doing all these things. Some of the storms could be coming from the Most High. Because it says he's in the storms and the tempest. Nothing goes on unless he allows it, even if they are creating it. That's part of that fire, that trial we must go through that tests faith. Now, you think that was a storm. Check out this storm in the scriptures when Christ and the disciples were on the water. Why? Because this, what we're reading here, is us. We don't get caught up in the hysteria of what's going on because we know regardless of what man can do, nothing tops the Most High. He controls the elements. He has power over life and death. Right? We should fear the Most High rather than man. See? So the disciples were on a ship with our Lord and Savior Yeshua, Christ, the Anointed. The storms was coming. Just imagine, you all seen the Titanic, everything that you hear noise, stuff's creeping and look like it's going to break in half. The storm was one of the greatest storms. And you know what? The disciples were afraid. So this is us here. Whether it be Irma, Harvey, or whatever other hysteria that they try to utilize, be it true or not. Keep your faith in the Most High. Listen to this. Read this real quick, Elder Lawya.
Yes, sir. This is Matthew chapter 8, verse 23.
Come on.
And when he was sent into a ship, his disciples followed him, and behold, there arose a great tempest in the sea, insomuch that the ship was covered with the waves, but he fell asleep. And his disciples came to him and awoke him, saying, Lord, save us, we perish. And he saith unto them, Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith? Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm.
He rose and did what?
Rebuked the winds and the sea.
He rebuked the winds and the sea. That means Christ's power. Him ordering the heavenly angels. Think about this. He has power over the elements. See? Whether they be of the Most High or NASA tried to create some. Christ had power over the elements because in the beginning he was there in the spirit to utilize the elements to make all that is. What did he say to the disciples? Read that again.
And his disciples came to him and awoke, saying, Lord, save us.
Save us. Read.
We perish. And he saith unto them, Why are ye fearful?
Why are you fearful? Have I taught you anything? Why? Christ wasn't in panic. Why were they? See? Christ was sitting there asleep. It wasn't Christ's time to go. He was telling them. He was teaching them. Right? Then he began to teach them about that faith as the grain of mustard seed. Not that prosperity garbage. They say you sow a little seed and you get a lottery ticket. I'm talking about to have the same faith. And through that faith, follow the law, statutes, and commandments and being a good child of the Most High so that now when you pray, it goes before the angels. And Christ now have the angels go work and do away with the elements that could harm you if you have that faith. See? Read it.
Why are ye fearful, O ye of little faith?
Come on.
Then he arose and rebuked the winds and the sea, and there was a great calm. Verse 27. But the men marveled, saying...
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Here you go. You take that. Okay. Go ahead.
But the men marveled, saying, What manner of man is this?
What manner of man is this?
That even the winds and the sea obey him.
Even the winds. Because it wasn't just the storm, Look at the storms that are now, as they call it, formulating over the waters and gaining power and all that. That's in conjunction with the seas. Think about this being something of what you would call biblical proportion of what we're seeing now happen in real time with Christ and the disciples on the ship. Who's going to panic? And who's going to exercise the faith of the Most High to not get caught up in the hysteria so that you can be led through the Holy Spirit and think through to safety? Right? The Bible tells us to cry aloud, spare not, lift up our voice like a trumpet, show our people their transgression. We put down sin, come to the Most High, build our faith, follow His commandments. A little wind, He can take care of that. A little storm, that's nothing to Him. He'll pluck it somewhere else. Okay, it's gone. Finished. Don't get caught up in the hysteria. We're not saying don't prepare, because you should prepare, because that will give you time to plan for your own safety, opposed to FEMA being your only option, and Walmart being your only option, martial law becoming your only option. Right? Now, well, hey, we got a little time here, so let me first open up the lines. I'm going to open the lines for about 3-4 different calls, and then after that I have an announcement to make for my trip over in Georgia, right? But the lines for you to call in and ask any question you would like, make sure you push 1 with the question mark there so we can know who actually has a question or comment. The phone number is 515-605-9327. 515-605-9327. I'll see you in queue. I'll go down accordingly and get your questions and comments going, all right? I'm going to take 4 different calls first. Be respectful of the time, and I'm glad because we got about an hour left. And after these 4 calls, I'll make a few announcements. Okay, I see Elder Gabar in New York City. How you doing, Elder Gabar?
Shalom, Elder. How are you doing? Can you hear me? How am I coming in?
I'm blessed by the best. I'm doing well. Okay.
Okay. All praises.
Yes,
all
sir.
Praises.
I can
yep,
hear you.
I'm here. Okay. Yep. You listen to the show.
Okay. You have anything? You have anything to say?
Yeah, just listening to the show, and you know, we are actually looking at the feast days and the different areas in regards that where these storms are supposed to be hitting. You know, of course, New York, in regards to feast, we're gonna be feasting about an hour and a half away, 2 hours, under 2 hours. So it's not gonna be too far from our city, but we're looking at that closely because you know, it's one of these things that we have to, you know, pray on it because we may be, if we go away, then we have to look at how the storm is going to hit that area, and then of course there's going to be people that are going to be, you know, the elderly and, you know, women and children. So we may have to cut the feast short. We have to see depending what they tell us in regards of the feast this year. So we're looking into that because I'm not supposed to go back to New York. I know Puerto Rico is getting hit hard, so we got to pray for the brothers. I got to call Brother Jay. He's over there in Puerto Rico. I got in contact with him and see what's going on with the congregation up there. I know Elder Rawchaa, he's in Jamaica, so we got to, you know, make sure that we prepare because we don't know what's going to happen. And we'll know that it's supposed to be Category 5, which is, you know, Katrina was I think 1.5 or 1.2 or 2.5, I believe. And look all the devastation it did. This is reported to be supposed to be over 5. I mean, some before around 5, over 5. So we got to be very careful, especially for this year in regard to the Feast of the Tabernacle. But I'm listening. You know, I want to hear people's comments, and I know you got, you know, some announcements, so we could go on and get some, you know, answer some questions. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have them.
Well, thank you, Gabar, and man, I mean, it's going to be a great weekend, man. It's going to be good doing the Holy Day with you in Atlanta this weekend. So I'm going to talk about that in a moment. It's going to be a good weekend, but like I said, it's a storm on every level. Usually, when that 7th month come in, you can look for serious change. That's what happens. Yep. The Most High does His shaking on every level. Right?
Amen to that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right? So here it is. You can just stay with me, and you and I, and we got Elder Lawya here, and we got Chapat, Yahweh in the room, and we just go down the line and just take some calls and see what's going on with our brothers and sisters. Again, I apologize for those who expected Jesse Lee Peterson. Don't worry about it. He'll be back next week. It depends on what happens with this storm, because who knows how long they're going to use this scenario. And we don't know what is the aftermath in this, too. So we got to, like you said, Gabar, continue our prayer and let people know that the Most High is sending judgment. He's allowing these things to happen as a trying in the fire. But we're not to be fearful, and we must prepare and become self-sufficient and depend on ourselves in these times. Okay. We have someone here from the 618 area code.
And also, Elder, before we answer, Brother Jay Kazak Bawakar, if he could call in from Puerto Rico, if he can, to also give us a report. Brother, if you listen, I'm going to text you now. Just give me a text if you're on the show. If I could look out for you, I want to hear the report of what's going on in Puerto Rico. But go ahead, Elder.
Okay, yeah, if you're listening, you know his number, or have him come in or whatever, because I would love, man, we got to hear what's going on, all right, over there, okay?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have someone from the 618 area code, and right after that, 757 area code.
Shalom, Elder.
618 area code. Shalom, you're live on Blog Talk.
All right, I'm here in St. Louis area, and I used to be in the military. I first started off National Guard, and I went active duty military, Army. And I was told when I was 17, when I first joined, that if in the event of martial law, if you are told to, if you were told to shoot your mama in the face and you did not, you will be court-martialed, if not shot on the spot, under martial law conditions. So the military, the soldiers are well trained and they know exactly what's going on. If they're told to gun you down, they will. And that's another reason why they start so young, because your mind is so influential at that time to follow orders, direct orders. So if you are caught somewhere and it's a martial law comes down, be prepared.
Caution, red light camera ahead.
Sorry about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yes, it is real. It is live. I am in St. Louis. I used to live in Kansas City. I go back and forth up and down 70. So, yeah. Just listening in, and hopefully we get the brother from over in Puerto Rico. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, so you know this firsthand, that the training, they desensitize the troops, even when it comes to, their personal loved one. I heard that there was a survey they was passing out in the military years ago, and asked if you were told to fire on civilians, what would you do? Like, what type of survey are you giving here?
Well, the thing is that when you first come in,
you have a plan. Go on.
The survey is that they used to start off by just asking you, after you sworn in to the military, if you was told to shoot your mom, would you shoot your mom? What about shooting your brother? What about a cousin that's distant from you? Just crack little jokes and things like that. And even when you're away and you with your battle buddies, you come down and people be, what would you do for $100,000? Would you shoot this person? Kind of like the stuff on Facebook now. We've been doing that in the military since 99, 2000, 2001. Prepping each other, just talking and making sure we was okay, looking out for each other. Don't worry about your mama, just worry about the buddy that got your back. Because in the foxhole, you need somebody that's going to cover your life. It's not about your brother, it's about you. Which is another reason why all of this resonates with me. I know that this is real. I know that this is the truth. I've seen both sides.
Man. Well, I'm glad you're on the side of righteousness, brother, now.
Oh, yeah. See,
okay,
and
my
that's
hands
the reason
up.
why. Yeah, Mike Brown, baby, St. Louis.
All right, brother, we're going to put you on the hold, but I'm going to get your number because I'm going to call you. We have a lot to talk about, all right?
Fantastic. Anytime. Shalom.
Thank you, brother.
All right,
Shalom.
shalom. And I'm going to put it out there. Yes, I have every intention on calling the brother, and I want to say this. I do. Sometimes I lose track of time, but I do get to my people in due time. I don't want anybody to feel a certain type of way because I know someone felt a certain type of way because I said I would call, but, I have every intention, but, I have to prioritize things also. But, brother, great call. 757 area code. You're in. We're going to give you about a minute and a half. You're live on Blog Talk. 757.
Shalom, Elder. Shalom, Elder Rawchaa. Shalom, Elder Gabar. Elder
Shalom. How are you?
I'm blessed. Very blessed. Very blessed. I first would like to say, I'll be modest with my time. I first would like to thank the church once again for your work. All praise be to the Most High. I'm in the academy currently and planning on enrolling in the next academy on the 27th. I'm under the name Coming Home to Glory. I just want to give a huge thank you to the elders, man. This past 9 months, it's been such a great journey to be with you all. I haven't joined the church here in Virginia just yet, but I plan to do so ASAP. But I feel as though you all are already family currently now. The wisdom that you all are projecting out to us as a people so that we're able to come home to Christ and recognize our Savior is unmeasurable. And I'm so grateful to be able to converse with you all and to be able to listen to you all whenever I need to, because it's very much a needed thing day to day to have you brothers in my life, man, just to be able to stay grounded and to be able to keep my direction and to guide my family. I just wanted to first thank you with that. I also wanted to say, Elder, you remind me a lot of Peter. You will now be shaking off this rock. And I'm very grateful to you for that. And the lesson about the 4 beasts of Daniel this Sunday was incredible. And I really believe that what you're speaking of with these storms and everything that we learned in class, this is definitely we're in the times of the last beast. And, it's very key that we stay as a family unit and understanding how to move daily and for our future from here on out. And I just wanted to call in and say just thank you and praise be to the Most High, because I finally feel as though I have that true direction and guidance to get home and to protect my family. So just a huge thank you to you, brothers. Elder Rawchaa as well, and Brother Deacon Shapat as well. Just thank you, brothers, man. Thank you very much for the work.
Well, thank you, brother. And all praises be to the Most High in the name of Yeshua, brother. And while you're in this spirit, this is the best time of your life. Believe me. I remember that first time when I first got the truth and how sweet it is. Yes. But Ezekiel, it tells you, it comes in sweet, but when it gets into the belly, it gets bitter when you have to realize what this all entails to endure. And I'm going to say that even though it's sweet at first, you're going to have to join with our brothers in Virginia so that you can now cultivate and build that spirit before it becomes stagnant.
Yes, sir.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
You can't be idle with it. You got to use it. Strike while the iron is hot, and that's what we're here for, brother, to make sure you take that spirit and you don't become stagnant with it.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Because, it's always a progression of learning to the point where every day is like a new day in the truth. If your foundation is strong. And I want to, through the Spirit of the Most High, I hope this academy help with that, and that we can help you grow that so that you can stand up as one of those great soldiers and generals for the Most High. You understand?
Yes, wow.
And let me tell you,
wow.
I thank you for recognizing the works we have sown in Christ, in this work, in Christ's name. But keep in mind, this is Christ's work. And I was once where you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I need you to know that. There's really no difference in you and I. We're brethren. We're just at a different time of our progression into this kingdom. But all in all, I was right there. So you can do it, brother. Just make sure you cultivate and grow strong in it. Never waver, and don't let no one turn you.
Yes, sir. It's been such a battle.
Don't let no one turn you, brother. Don't ever let. Guess what? You're going to be tried in this thing, brother. Don't let no one turn your sweetness to bitterness.
Yes, sir.
Don't let no one ever do that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, brother. And I'm going to put you on hold.
Thank you very much.
Great call.
Thank you, brother.
You welcome, family.
Shalom.
Okay, Elder Lawya, do we got the, Elder Gabar.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna take one more call, right, and then we can go through. Okay, then I can make some announcements.
Yeah, and I believe I have Brother Kazak listening in Puerto Rico. I'm just asking him which number he's calling from, so he is on. And he could come in, but go ahead, Elder. We could take some phone calls. We may catch him because I'm not seeing his cell phone or the number that I have here listed. So we'll eventually get him.
Okay, when you see him, just bring him in, and I'll see him pop up like you popped up, if you don't mind, right?
Okay, we're good.
Okay. All right. Let me make an announcement real quick for this weekend so that no one gets confused. When it comes to us dealing with the memorial blowing of the trumpets, we're going to deal with some prophecies that's going on in the earth that we must proclaim. And we're going to do that this weekend in Atlanta. We want to let all the brothers and sisters know in Atlanta, everything is fine. We're heading the Atlanta church, myself, Elder Lawya, and Gabar going forward. We're the leaders there. We will head it off personally. And I want to also put out there that the place that you were originally planning on being, that is null and void. The holy day will not be there at all. It will be at a place that we will give you through email if you are a member of the church or on the conference call this evening. So whatever plans that was in play a week ago or yesterday don't exist anymore. Only the plans that we will give you through the elders of the Gathering of Christ Church. And that's including the plans for the tabernacle. All plans come through the elders of the church, and we're going to make sure we have a blessed union under the love of Christ and the unity of Christ this Sabbath. Okay? So it's going to be a great time, and we're going to do it together. I know a lot of you didn't expect that, but yes, we're going to be there in Georgia this weekend, heading off the memorial blowing of the trumpets, and we're going to be bringing forth prophecies out there. All the brothers and sisters that are under the church and baptized under the church can be at the address I'll give you myself. There's no other place that, for the Gathering of Christ Church, you can be in Atlanta for the memorial blowing of the trumpets. That's crystal clear. Now, let me make this announcement here. We have an important holy day coming up this Sabbath. Therefore, Elder Rawchaa, which is myself, Elder Lawya, Elder Gabar, who's on the phone, who's on the line here, will be making special arrangements to conduct the service for this coming Feast of Trumpets in Atlanta this Saturday, September 9th. We're going to have an early class, and we're going to have a feast afterwards. Okay? Now, to confirm your attendance, please complete our RSVP form, and we sent that to the brothers and sisters who are within the church now, so we can reserve your seat, get a count for you and your family. So whatever you did before, that doesn't matter. We're going to give you a count here. You're going to go to the place we'll be at. As seats may be limited, you don't want to miss out on that, because what's going on through the storm, a lot of people are using Atlanta as a refuge also. And due to that, because of that, as a result of that, A lot of the hotels are booked out. And then you could have people probably from the other churches who would normally be in those areas probably coming in with us to do a holy day in Atlanta. So, okay. Now, what I'm mentioning is for Tennessee and Alabama also. Everything that you do is directly under us, myself, Elder Lawya, and Gabar, going forward. No one else, just myself, okay? Now, please be advised that we will personally oversee the Atlanta body for the foreseeable future. All prior plans that was for the Feast of Tabernacles also in Atlanta are canceled. So there will be no Feast of Tabernacles planned in Atlanta that was planned prior. No. What we're going to have it where if you want to bust in with those that are doing it, then you can do that. Or you can have the holy day that we will be conducting in Atlanta for the Feast of Tabernacles for the first and last day of that week. Okay? To be crystal clear with you. No prior plans for the feast. That's finished. You can tear that up. That don't exist. You're not going to the feast that was planned before. You're going to the one that we are arranging. Okay? Now, more details concerning this will be discussed. We have a conference with the Atlanta, Tennessee, and the Alabama congregation tonight, right after this particular broadcast that starts at 9 p.m., where you'll come in and we'll take a roll for everyone that's there so that you can get the details as a church member in preparation for this weekend and the future for those particular churches. Now, again, to confirm attendance, please complete our RSVP form now that we sent to your email if you're within the church, so we may reserve your seat as seats will be limited. Now, seats will be limited, and I know brothers and sisters who are not actually a part of the church right now may want to be a part of it. Now, we're not going to say that you cannot, but we have to first, believe it or not, deal with the people within the church to make sure their seats are reserved. And if there's any extra seats, we'll let you know in that order. Based on those that are outside the church, we'll let you know, well, this many seats are available, and then we'll take people in the order they requested. All right? But all in all, I'm going to try to find another way outside of the holy day to meet brothers and sisters and sit down with them and talk with them, even in between, who can't make it to the, because these hotels and different places like that have limited capacity where it's a strict capacity. Now, if it was me, I would just have standing room only, but, you know, you can't do that in these places. So all in all, I'll still try to, while I'm down there, you know, spiritually touch in the spirit and pray with and talk to as many people as I can while I'm there. But you're gonna be seeing more of a presence of myself, Elder Lawya, and Gabar in that area going forward anyway, because we're the presiding overseers of those areas permanently going forward. Okay? With that, let me open up one moment here. I think I lost it. It is Blog Talk. There it is. I'm going to open this up. Did he come on yet, Gabar?
I'm trying to find him on the dashboard, and I can't find his particular number. So I'm scrolling down. Okay. Once I get him, I'll bring him in. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'm going to just take a few more calls in the interim, okay? We have someone from the 443 area code. Okay, you're live with the Elders of the Gathering of Christ Church. 433 area code. You're live on Blog Talk.
Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Shalom, Elder. This is Sister Rawchaa from GOCC, Philadelphia. Shalom, Elder Gabar. Shalom, Elder Lawya. I just had two quick questions and then just a comment. My question was, I know you've been watching the storm as well with Irma. I don't know if you saw there's two other storms that they're not considering them hurricanes just yet. They're calling them tropical storms, I think. Jose and Katia, I think the other one is called. I could be misquoting that name, which is forming near the Gulf of Mexico. But my question was, why do you think it is, if you're paying attention to the track of Irma, it seems like it's hitting all the countries where our people are: Cuba, Jamaica, Puerto Rico, the Gulf of Mexico, Dominican Republic, Haiti. It's all on the track of Irma. Do you think it's because they want to bring the martial law into those countries, or is it just another mechanism, for their so-called population control? What do you think, Elder?
Well, I think that you are viewing it rightly, and the answer is yes to both. We are in Jacob's trouble. Usually these things are aimed towards a certain demographic of the population. It affects usually the majority of usually the poor usually gets the brunt of any disaster, because usually rich people are more mindful of where they move before they go in there. They go into it, whether it's high ground, what is the crime rate, what is the storms risk. They usually look at certain areas and through their finances buy the optimum security. So through finances and class separation, they're able to do what? Protect those who they would like to protect without saying it's racism or classism. But on the other hand, can have people in a concentrated area where it's so many people, even if it was an optimum place. It's too many people in a state of an emergency. And through that, only bad things can happen, like Katrina in these other areas. Like, you think they didn't know that they were building cities and housing and all that, and low-income housing and different housing below water level, where the levee walls were? So these were in the plans the whole time. You know what I mean? It's usually someone that's actually doing some level of reconnaissance, if you want to look at it from a military or strategic standpoint, or some type of just healthy planning, will look at it, a place they're going to live, and say, well, listen, what's up with that wall right there? But see, usually the poor don't have those choices.
Right.
As long as, for real, as long as we got a stainless steel refrigerator, we'd be in the next house next to the wall. And so it doesn't matter to us. As long as our house is clean and we got stainless steel. So our people, we didn't know. Sometimes this happens through generations, where people are living there so long, 2 or 3 generations without anything happening. The last thing you can imagine is the government opening up walls of water on you. The problem is sometimes when you drive cross country, you see all these plains of land for miles beyond the point of your eyesight that people can actually live. Why would you actually build there if it's not a strategic plan to drown you there? I mean, America's a big place. So these are strategic control scenarios, usually aimed towards people who don't have choices outside of, of those areas. And it's not our fault. It's not our fault we can't afford to make the choices of the rich. But that's just what it is. It's strategic, military, yeah, go on.
Sorry.
What'd you say?
No, I said sorry to interrupt. My last quick question was just, I heard you talking about that you heard them mentioning something about it hitting New York. I've been tracking it. I didn't see anything about the northern East Coast. I just wanted to know what news feed did you get, and if you could just brief me on it a little bit more, maybe I missed it, on it hitting anywhere the northern East Coast.
Yeah, they were talking about it going around Florida and then going down the eastern shores of the East Coast by September 11th. You can always hear that September 11th thing. You understand? So I don't know what it's going to be. That's what they're saying. All I'm saying is we have enough faith in Christ not to be alarmed with anything they might say, and put more faith in what the Most High say, and prepare accordingly. You understand? And prepare for what He has coming down according to prophecy. And listen, Christ even gave us certain warnings. He told us, the foolishness, the foolish mindset of one building their house on sand. He gave us so much key information. Like a fool build their house on sand. He was letting us know, stay away from those areas because it's going to be storms coming there. But you build your house, you ever walk in sand, you can hardly make it through. So how can a house really gain foundation in sand? Eventually it can, but if you build on solid rock, and that's what Christ is. Islam is saying Christ is the rock. Right? Pagan Christianity is saying, because when the storms come, they cannot defend their theology. But if you stand on Christ, see, you build your house on that rock. So, sister, thank you. You always pose good questions when you call. But for the sake of time, I got to go through a few more of these calls, okay?
The water, Elder Bush.
Thank you. Again, the bar, great questions. Okay. We have the 434 area code, okay? And we will be breaking down in 15 minutes so that we can prepare for the conference at 9 o'clock. We want to make sure everything is buttoned up tight so that we can get right through this in preparation. We have a lot of traveling to do, a lot of planning to do, and we have to guide our brothers in the South rightly, with these particular areas, and it starts after this. Hey, the work don't stop when the broadcast ends, okay? So you can know. There's always some work. 773 area code. And you're live on Blog Talk.
Shalom, Elder. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Gabbar, you can come in right after that. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay.
Hi. Okay, so I had to press the 1 button because my phone service wouldn't allow me to call you guys for some reason. This happened twice in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Normally I call in and I'm able to get through to the Blog Talk, but for some reason it hangs up on me every time I call in. So I decided to press the 1 button to see if I can get in just to hear the show without it hanging up on me. So I do apologize that I'm in the queue, but that was the only way that I would be able to hear the show if I pressed the number 1 button. Because if I don't press it,
okay, so what you're saying in a nutshell, you really didn't have no question or comment, but you just wanted to be able to hear the show, and that's fine. Good, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, while you're here, hey, you got about a minute and a half. Where you from?
I'm from Chicago. On my way home, I always listen to you guys, and I just love tuning in. So I have to tune in. I love when you guys load up the videos. They keep me motivated. I'm always tuning in. And again, I just want to say thank you guys, because I know it can get hard, and you guys are really persistent with keeping us updated on everything. So, the water. And I'm always posting on your videos. My name is Hanana, and my last recent post, I was just telling everybody that, guess what, Israel? I have a 104-year-old great-grandmother here in Chicago. It's a blessing. It's such a blessing.
It's a blessing.
She walks around. She walks around on her own with no assistance. And what's so funny is she sits down in her little chair, and it's so amazing to me that she's able to fold her legs like Indian style sometimes, and she will talk to you, and it's just so funny because I'm like, wow, you are 104. And, people don't believe, that she's 104. So, that's all I wanted to say. And,
well, sister, it's a blessing. I'll tell you what, hey, we're going to need to talk to your grandmama and see what she's eating. But another thing, maybe she could teach us something. But all in all, I'm glad to be able to put a face with the person that actually comments on the message board. I know exactly who you are when I go through there now. And you always make good comments, and I thank you for supporting the work, okay?
Thank you, elders. You guys, keep it going.
You're welcome.
Shalom.
Shalom. Bless you.
Shalom, sister.
Okay, Elder Rawchaa, you said you had a...
Yeah, before you would take my phone calls, I just wanted to make a quick announcement in regards to New York. Due to the fact that, last minute I am going to Atlanta we actually had a different venue that we were planning to go and do the feast, but because of unforeseen events, we're going to be keeping the feast actually in the church. The reason why we were looking to get a different venue, because the venue that we're looking into rent for the weekend is actually a venue or a church, another church on the second floor. We were looking to rent the second floor for a permanent church. But before we did that, I wanted to kind of first go there and kind of get a feedback from the congregation and things of that nature. So, but because of unforeseen events, we're going to go to Atlanta, and we're going to rebuild Atlanta and things of that nature. We're going to be having a meeting right after the show. We're going to keep the feast at the church, and we'll maybe do another feast coming down at the new venue. So I just want to make that a quick announcement for those. So in New York, if you're in New York, if you're a member of New York, we're going to be keeping the feast in New York, 611 Jackson Avenue, the church that we are there all the time, so every week. Okay, I just wanted to make that announcement.
Okay, thank you. And while you make an announcement, I need to follow up with you all on the back of what you just said, Elder Gabar. A few announcements here that we also have a relief fund for disasters that will help people within the church in their respective areas. If you go to the gatheringofchrist.org, you'll see disaster relief fund. You can donate there. We don't touch that money. It goes directly to the churches based on the needs. What happens is the people that in the respective areas will fill out a report for what they lost and what they need. Because of that, we'll examine it and we'll properly respond back out of the fund. One thing that's good about this, you send something to Red Cross and all that, guess what? That money goes into more planning against you. Okay? Mm-hmm. They don't really help anyone. That's total garbage. They're behind the Rawchaa. Red Cross means Red Shield, which is Rawchaa. It's a money-making scheme. Mm-hmm. So you give your money to them, and you probably get a tax break, of course, and get a write-off, but all in all, they don't really help the people. But usually they're the number one option after all disasters. So it's a money-making scheme. The same people that are destroying you are picking up the pieces and getting financed after they cause the destruction. One thing about this is you know where the money's going to, and we'll tell you right now, I'm not going to touch any money. That'll be stealing. If I touch money that belongs to a relief fund for people and I begin to spend that. Keep in mind, we fear the Most High. So that money will not be touched, will be allocated strictly, and whatever it is will be allocated. And if there's something left after that, guess what? It'll be in a relief fund for future situations that can help people that are poor or need whatever the case is. Now they have a fund that our church and others can actually have in store for them. Okay, and that's what it is. Okay, I wanted to put that out there. The next thing is we do have a new academy coming. You hear the brothers and sisters talking about it. Believe me. You don't realize what it is unless you actually see it yourself. Some people, in disrespect of our wishes not to upload our videos of the academy, which is the agreement online, have uploaded old academies from when we first started. And you may think you're getting that information you're supposed to be getting. It's nowhere near what we teach on each lesson now. Okay? Some people just did it out of straight spite. They got in, purchased it, and just uploaded it because they knew we wanted to keep that for amongst the people, for those who didn't want to disrespect and all that. People who really wanted to grow genuinely with the church and help finance the work going forward. A lot of the equipment, a lot of the travel, everything we do is because we have that constant support, okay, and consistency with the academy from month to month. And you know what? It's never the same. So again, it's September 17th. If you would like to be a part of that, send an email to gatheringas1@AOL.com or go to historytimes.org. You can actually enroll right there. Or go to gatheringofchristchurch.org, and you will see where it says Academy. Hit that, follow the directions, and no sooner as you enroll, you will eventually receive your welcome package for the Academy well before it begins, okay? So I want to say that. That's another way you can show your appreciation. If we have sown anything spiritually into you to help with this work, well, guess what? you can help sow into the ministry and receive more education according to the Most High, that you would, in a class setting, that you would receive all your days in the Christian church. Okay? Yes, the praising is good. Yes, the singing is good. I like singing myself. But it comes a time where you just got to open up those books and break open those books and get that understanding. And you know what? The Academy does that for us. Another thing is we also, outside of the relief fund, are receiving donations for travel. So usually when you donate on the PayPal or whatever, you will put in the description exactly what you're donating for, so we'll know how to allocate it on our side. So if you want to just donate to the elders teaching you beforehand, yes, we do have elders in each area, but if it's donations directly to us, then you have to go directly to us that we give you to donate, okay? And that's through the same channels we've just mentioned before, okay? You go directly. If you want to give to us, we know we have people in each area, okay? But make sure if it's to the church so we can travel, we won't get it unless you give it to us. What you do locally is one thing. What you do to help the elders to travel and do what we do is another, okay? Now, the next point I wanted to make here is we'll be going to Colorado soon. I can't wait to see Shema Shawan and see the work they're doing. We're going into Texas once a lot of things recede. We're going into the West Coast, Arizona, and all the areas. We're going to be setting that up soon. We're going to go to Florida. We hope that the Most High, we hope this category storm that they're claiming that's on media is just media hype, and we pray that nothing happened to our brothers and sisters in Florida. But after that happens, we'll be going there to see what's going on, and if we need to be there to help pick up the pieces, of course, we as a church want to support our brothers and sisters in that area. Of course, we'll be in California also. Another thing we're going to be doing is we have some calendars for 2017 that break down all the holy days. There's more holy days within the 7th month than any other month, we're in the 7th month coming, according to the Bible's calculation. We're in the 9th month according to the world's calculation. It's the 7th month, September. So you have a lot of time between now and, matter of fact, pass me one of those calendars real quick. You just walk across the screen. Here we have right here. And it breaks down how to learn how to follow the holy days yourself, opposed to following it with the moon, because you're not supposed to do that. A lot of people get moon and month confused because they're not looking at the Hebrew. But even though you'll have it for September, check out some of the pictures that you'll have, even with the month you miss. So the calendar is not just a calendar. You can frame a lot of these particular pictures to show the progression of our people awakening. All of us of the world look at us now in all white. So it's not just a calendar. It's a memorable piece. Inspirational pieces in there to remind you each day that the Most High is with you. So we want it to be just more than to teach you the times and all that. We want it to inspire you to be able to frame some of these pictures, put them in your bathroom, put them in different areas, so that you can be encouraged day by day. Keep in mind, there's a lot of bad news we get all the time, and sometimes we just need to be encouraged. I am. Hey, you can frame this, right? So it's like an art piece also. It shows you the circular calendar that was given to Enoch, 364-day cycle. It shows you how to follow the holy days, even before the months come in. It gives you the scriptures on the information concerning the true holy days before Babylon came in and started our people to going off, following and calculating according to the moon. And look at this. The first time we spoke coming back to Babylon is framed. So when I say these calendars are more than just a calendar, it's more than just a calendar. And no one year is alike. So if you want the information in here, even after the years are done and the new holy day, which is the Passover coming for the new year, you'll still be able to frame each month with decorative. And don't forget, we put a lot of work and thought into putting this together for you to inspire you to stay grounded in this truth with our church. So you can go to gathering, as you can If you want a calendar, just go straight to our website, gatheringofchrist.org, and order the calendars. We have a lot left. We want to give them to you. We want them out there, and we want you to have them, okay? And with that, let's open back up the lines. Yes, let's go to these announcements, and then we'll just take the last 10, 15 minutes, if you will.
All right. So the following announcement is for the businesses that are currently on the GOCC network on our official website, thegatheringofchrist.org. The list goes as follows. Shea and Company Consulting, which is professional legal advice from Brother Shapat. A book called Recovering from Autism, which is one family's journey of hope and healing. Desired Promise. Natural products including hair butters, body butters, scrubs, and more. Bakar Books, which are Hebrews children's books. Exodus, Herbal, Gum and Tooth Powder. Heavenly Treasure, Essential Oils, Information on Healing and Well-Being, and more. WOS, Herbal Health, Organic and Wild-Crafted Quality Supplements. Lawya, Creative, which is handmade art design, including logos, portraits, paintings, and more. Rawchaa Naturally with Sister Eliona, which includes natural health, diet, and lifestyle consultancy. Above Rubies, which is homemade hair care products with moisturizing butters, oils, and extracts. We also have new members of the GOCC Business Network, which include Rashana's Naturals, all natural body scrubs, conditioners, soaps, eczema creams, and more. 12 Tribes of Israel Apparel, custom-made t-shirts and designs. Survival Kings, which is a sell of full range of survival gear and products. Natty Essentials, handmade deodorants, lotions, body creams, soaps, and more. Virtuous Light, which is homemade and hand-poured candles made with love. Endive Apothecary, which is herbal and organic products as well as personal support. Elementary, which is herbal scalp and hair products. Ahaya's Promise Herbals, which is natural body scrubs, deodorants, creams, oils, and more. We have Help by the Most High, which includes handmade and customized fringes for infants, children, and adults. Atara Adere, which is custom-made clothing, t-shirts, printings, and alterations for men and women. We have Amina's Blessed Naturals, which is fermented probiotic products that will help to heal skin conditions. We have I Love to Live Well, which is useful information including e-books on products that are harmful for us to consume. And last but not least, we have Love is Obedience, which is one family's story portraying the image of love, sacrifice, and obedience to parents.
Well, thank you. And we thank you, brothers and sisters, here you go, for supporting us with the GOCC network. And for all those that are behind the scenes, you know, we love you, and we thank you for all your works and making sure the GOCC network is a success. And we thank you, brothers and sisters, for actually believing in yourselves, investing in yourselves, in the works of your hands, and using our platform so that we can support your gifts. Every day we go out there and buy other people's products, and we're actually buying the junk that's destroying us. Well, the least we can do, if our brothers have soaps, oils, and creams, we use this stuff every day. And what I've noticed, all the care packages, the baskets that our sisters make, and we just got some great stuff from the DMV. It's all natural. They do it with care and love, and it's better than the products you can buy in the store. And you would have never known that our people had these gifts, these nation-building gifts, if a platform or opportunity weren't given to them to show their work. And that's what the GOCC network is all about. So if you have gifts that you would like to promote and get supported, then you can pay a small fee to be on our website and get promoted under the GOCC network. I mean, children books, you name it. cartoon books with real characters, looking exactly how they were biblically, it's actually on the web page. So go to gatherchrist.org. You'll be surprised what we have there in store for you. A lot of work goes into that, and we thank you, brothers and sisters, for supporting the GOCC network. We got about 10, 15 more minutes before we go into what we have next as far as our meeting. And I know Elder Rawchaa will also be in our meeting also when we have it, because, you know, we need him on our call for the Atlanta and the other brethren that we'll be talking to afterwards, the brothers and sisters for the Holy Day. Rawchaa. Elder Rawchaa, I see you on.
Shalom, family. How you doing?
Are you with me? I'm doing well. I didn't know whether or not you had a word or... Yeah, talk to me.
No, I was just listening in on the show. I understand that Mr. Peterson will be able to make it again till maybe next week. Listening to the information on the storm, I've spoken to some of the brothers them in Guadeloupe. They were okay down there. I think it passed through there as well. The ones in the Virgin Island as well. I think they sent me a message earlier this morning asking for prayers, but I have not heard from them since. I know that the storm passed that way. So far for the forecast right now, based on what they're watching, there's no imminent threat for Jamaica at this point in time. But I'm seeing that there's a storm in the Gulf developing, moving away from the state and heading back this way. So that may be something that we have to look out for. I think it's called Hurricane Katrina or something like that. I think that's the name of it. But as you said earlier, we're not gonna fear when these things happen. We're gonna stay prayed up with the Most High and come under His protection and hedge. So it is what it is, man. They're doing all of these things about this time of the year. It was last year also this time when they had that hurricane that destroyed Haiti. Our brothers and sisters over there that were left decimated after Hurricane Michael, which was also a Category 5 hurricane. So it's not new under the sun. Same tactics, same strategy used by the adversary.
I'll tell you what, brother. Hey, brother, we're going to be all right. We straight. We're going to keep praying. We're going to stay prayed up, and we'll pray for the brothers you haven't heard from. But I'm glad that the fatalities are not matching the hysteria. I thank the Most High for that right now. You understand? And the more I talk to brothers, and I know we're not, out of the proverbial storm right now, and that I've never seen as many letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You got Harvey, Irma. Who they going to call the next? And Irma is a female goddess of war or something. I'm like, what god is they going to invoke next? But anyway, they going through all the alphabet. I don't know what is it, an LBGT parade? I mean, every alphabet you name, they trying to come and name a storm with it. It's like, but you know what? We're going to stay prayed up and understand that our Lord, our Savior, our Christ, have power over the element, have power over the cloud and over the storms. And no death will come near us that He don't sanction. What you say?
And Elder, one more thing. One more thing. I just got a message before I came on the radio from the South Pacific. We have a brother down there that passed, an elderly brother that passed, Brother Joseph. His nephew John is the one that holds down the congregation over in Brisbane. I just had the message in. I want to say my condolences to the brothers down there in the South Pacific, and we here on behalf of the elders are have you in our prayers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Have our condolences. We sorry about the law. I want to say something right before Gabar. I know you're about to come in real quick. I want to say this real quick. For those who came in later, who are from the Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and the Tennessee areas, the prior plans of where you were going to do the Holy Day are no more. We're going to give you information on the new location where myself, Elder Gabar, and Elder Lawya will be presiding over the Holy Day. So those old plans don't exist. We will be doing the Holy Day ourselves in a few days in Georgia. So not with anybody else but us, and the location we'll give you tonight. Okay? All right. You had something to say, Gabar.
Yes, Elder. I have the brother from Puerto Rico, Brother GOCC. I want to bring him in. Brother Jay, let me bring him in. Brother GOCC from Puerto Rico, are you there? Are we coming in clear?
Good. Shalom, sir.
Okay,
do you hear me?
You're coming in clear. How we doing, brother?
Shalom, Jay. How are you?
Yeah, we are fine. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Most High, our Almighty Power, Ahaya, Sherahaya, in the name of His Son, Yeshaya, and the Holy Spirit, Rawchaa, because in this day, it was a critical day, and He showed His power on this timeline once again, all over again. Every time we get a situation like this, we have a warfare over here, it's spiritual warfare that we are dealing with, and you can feel it. And every time, all these major events that the enemy is creating for us, it goes away.
So give us what they're telling you.
All praise be to the Most High.
Yeah, absolutely. So what, Brother GOCC, so what they're telling you, what you're seeing, how bad is it?
Yeah, we expect, like, we prepare for more, but we didn't have like the category 5 winds strength over here, because the eye passed like 30 to 50 miles above San Juan or the metropolitan area. So where I'm at, I live in the mountains. So we get protected by the mountains and the trees. But the people that are around the coast, they are getting the most damage. Right now, we don't have actually, maybe tomorrow in the morning or maybe late night, we're gonna see what is really happening over there, because they got the strongest wind over there. But right now, in the rest of the island, of the majority of the island, right now it's very calm. Already passed the hard winds, so right now we are fine.
Okay, well that's a blessing. Well, I know in Puerto Rico there's been some shaking. This past weekend there was some storm shaking, but I know in Puerto Rico there's been some shaking in regards of the church. The area that we were in Puerto Rico, we're no longer there. Those that are in the Puerto Rico area that would like to fellowship with the Gathering Christ Church, I am directly overseeing Puerto Rico. You could send an email to goccnyc@gmail.com, goccnyc@gmail.com, and I will direct you to the brother and officer, good brother GOCC, Brother Jay. He's been there, through the trials and tribulation, and he's been loyal to the church. So we'll direct you to the right body in Puerto Rico. Okay, so brother, stay strong. I know I got to see you. I know we've been talking behind the scene. We got to get a new building up there. I know there's been some issues over there, but I know you been standing loyal and strong with the body, so we appreciate that. After we resolve the issue with Atlanta, we build Atlanta. You got my word. I'm going to be headed to Puerto Rico soon.
Yeah, we are strong here. We are doing the job. We are staying strong in the spirit of Christ. That is the first and more important thing. That is the doctrine, the real doctrine of the church, and we cannot let anything that is physical or anything that is happening outside of us affect our way, affect our path to the kingdom. So we right now we are saying we need patience. We need patience to achieve perfection to the Most High. So in patience in tribulations, patience in the learning curve of the word and the doctrine of the Most High, and patience in everything that is happening, because because the enemy doesn't want us to do these things. So he's always fighting in everyone with each of us. He's keeping us trying to get us distracted. He's coming with a lot of problems in different ways, maybe personal, maybe with the church, maybe with different kind of situations. But we have to fight it, and we always fight it. It's a spiritual battle. So we are strong here, and I thank you. I thank you, Elder. Personally, I come to know you, Elder Rawchaa, in the feast of when I went to the Virginia in the Passover. So it was a blessing for me, and I thank for to the Elder Gavar for the trust that he puts on me and the share that is putting on me, and I'm gonna be a soldier for Christ every time. So thank you.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And before we continue, Elder, I just want to make a close announcement. We're about to go into the overtime. We got 2 minutes and 22 seconds. Please call in. Those that have not called in, the number is 515-605-9327. That number is 515-605-9327. And also, you could also switch over to the blog talk. I'm sorry, to the Ustream, GOCC Ustream, and you can still see us there after the overtime. Go ahead, Elder.
I want to say.
Well, guess what? Whatever you got to say, got to be real quick, brother, because it's time sensitive here.
Okay, just pray for the people from Barbados, that they are 1,300 people, and maybe almost 1,000 people got affected or died on the storm. So pray for them.
Okay. We definitely, Barbados, we got to pray. We got to pray this weekend hard. We got to do some hard prayers this weekend. Amen. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. We're going to pray tonight too for all the areas that the Most High just let this thing recede and to save our people through the storms. Normally we stay in overtime, and I know we do the announcements regularly, but because due to us with this cram planning right now to go to Atlanta, as well as a meeting in a couple of minutes, we're going to actually cut this show right now. We thank you for supporting our show. You have the forecast of what's going on throughout the four corners of the earth. We're the Gathered of Christ Church with Elder Gabar. We have Elder Lawya here. We have Elder Gaja online. It's very rare. We're all together. We got your pot over there. We got your Howard over there. And we got you there. And you know what? We thank you. Next week, we're going to be dealing with, you know it, we'll be talking to Jesse Lee Peterson, if it be the Most High's will. So we can do a follow-up on that discussion that happened in Las Vegas and see if we were able to nudge him towards, the truth a little. With that, we're going to say, Shalom, you stay strong, and keep in mind, Ahaya's calling back Israel. Got it. Shalom.
Shalom.
The east is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. 721 BC. The Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape we went to the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt.